I'm going to show you a really simple no makeup look using just 5 products. Let's get into it. For me, a really good no makeup natural look hinges on 2 things. One, it's got to be quick, and two, it's got to use a minimum of products. I'm using just 5 products for this look, and one of them is a moisturizer. So I guess really it's 4 products. Let me show you how I do it. I really think that a no makeup look hinges a lot on your complexion. If you can really get your foundation and moisturizer looking nice together, and if you're not using foundation, just something to maybe cover up any blemishes or dark spots you don't want to look at, you'll be really happy with the look. To that end, I always heavily moisturize on the days where I am going to use less makeup overall. Why? I just feel like this gives you a more dewy complexion throughout the day, and it just looks nice and fresh, and people think your skin looks nice, and I think that that is a huge part of a no makeup look. A go-to that I've been talking about for a long time on this channel is this affordable French moisturizer. It's called Cicaplast Balm B5. I'll put a link to it down below. You can get it at Target, CVS, places like that. It's a very thick moisturizer. You can use whatever moisturizer you like to use. Just make sure it's one that's highly compatible with the foundation that you're going to use with this. I think that a lot of people want to do a no makeup look and skip the foundation. And of course, you certainly can. It's a free world if you like that look. But then sometimes they're a little less than happy with the look. Whereas I think that they just use a little bit of foundation and really dialed in their skin, they would have been happier overall with the result for the extra few minutes that it takes. So you can see here that I'm going in very thick with the moisturizer. If you're using this moisturizer and you're finding it leaves a white cast, you have to use thinner layers. And if that is still too much, my friends, I'm going to introduce you to an amazing tool, and that is called the Kleenex or tissue. I can see that I've overdone it a little bit in my hairline, and I've pushed the moisturizer accidentally in my hair, and sometimes there's no coming back from that without just using a tissue to absorb some of it. I'll hang on to this because it will come in more handy later. Just having a tissue will help you minimize any mistakes you may have made, like you've gone a little too heavy with the foundation, you've gone a little too heavy with blush. You can use this to tone it down. So I am now well moisturized, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of foundation. So the product that it is less important than how you apply it and maybe the tools that you use to try and get that natural look. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm a big fan of Revlon Colorstay Longwear. I use the dry normal variation, but I also have the one that is more meant for oily skin, and that one's fine too if you use a lot of moisturizer. I am shade 220. This has SPF 20 in it, which I actually didn't know till I carefully looked at this cap. And for those no makeup days, obviously I don't want to wear a lot of foundation because nothing looks less natural than a ton of foundation. So what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit on my finger in this case, and the areas that I'm always working on in terms of complexion for the day are like right here, sort of center, and I work outwards. So that is what I'm going to do. Just going to dab some in, and I am going to use my fingers. This is a forgotten tip, I think. A lot of people have moved to brushes. Brushes are great. Brushes, though, can make it look a little more heavy-handed because you need to put on more and then you need to brush it out because the bristles absorb a lot of the foundation. So you'll see if you use your fingers, you actually need less usually. And it may give you a more refined, thinner layer. So that's not quite enough. That's not to my liking. I'm going to go in now with a second layer. And I have some spots that really could use a little work. I've got this leftover acne scar up here that will not go away right now. If the constant spot of hyperpigmentation that is resistant to any at-home treatments, so I probably need to see a dermatologist if I want to take care of that. But what I am liking is that you can still see that I'm wearing moisturizer and it's still pretty glowy altogether. Once I've done this and I've used my fingers to spread it around just from this area outward, just a tiny bit of leftovers here on my chin, I don't think anyone would be able to detect that I'm wearing foundation, just if they were meeting me on the street. Even so, I do like to tamp everything down with a dampened beauty blender makeup sponge, and going in any areas that are maybe a bit dark, I will just touch it with a little bit of foundation. Using that dampened beauty blender helps to prime the skin to take a little bit more foundation, I found, instead of using concealer. It is not unusual if you want a no makeup look to spend a lot more time on perfecting your complexion. Spending that little bit of extra time to use less and slowly layer it on will pay dividends throughout the day. It will just look more natural. It will feel more natural, and you should still have a glow coming through from your moisturizer, from your thick layer or layers of moisturizer underneath, as I had done. And so even at this point, I still may go in and use that tissue to really blend and soften everything in. So the next product that I like to use is Tarte Sketch and Set. This is a dual-ended product, and if you're watching this far in the future, it's entirely possible they've discontinued this. I hope they never do though, because for the price of this one item, which is like a Ulta Sephora kind of high-end purchase, it's not crazy, it's not Tom Ford, but it's not drugstore either. The cool thing about it is it's got pencil on one end and then an actual tinted gel, not a clear gel, but a gel that's tinted the same color on the other. I keep trying other eyebrow products and I keep coming back to this one. So heavy brows are not the thing. You just want to, in my case anyway, follow along the natural eyebrows, and I'm just trying to darken them. I'm not really trying to reshape them or go through any heroic efforts, just darken up what's there. I've worked in a lot of light, thin lines using the pencil side of this, and so now I'll just go in with a tiny bit of gel. Tip is like, do not touch it to your skin. Just go so light that you feel like you're just catching the hair. I love this tiny wand on this. It is just perfect for catching these teeny tiny little hairs in there, and I'm starting to have some gray in my eyebrows too, so it covers those up kind of nicely. I think really essential for a no makeup look is to minimize how much eye makeup you're wearing. Those days that I don't want to look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, I just leave out the eyeliner, but then I do use mascara instead just to open up my eyes and darken them a bit, darken the lashes. Curl my lashes with my Shiseido, and if you have straight lashes, I'm going to give you a tip, which is that waterproof mascaras, as hard as they are to get off, they really are your friend throughout the day. I don't love waterproof mascaras, but the closest I found to that is tubing mascara, which kind of works on some of the same principles. I love No. 7 Stay Perfect long wear tubing mascara. And I don't go up, I go out. A makeup artist told me that once. She says the key is just to angle it outwards. Then it almost looks like you're wearing eye makeup, like eyeliner, but you're not. So there are the eyes so far. I'm a real sucker for blush. At any given time during my makeup routine, it's almost a guarantee I'll put too much on and I have to tone it down. So I'm really going to try not to do that today. For a minimal look or a natural look, I think that these cream blushes look better than powder blushes. They just blend and sink into the skin more. I'm a fan of Nudies Bloom, specifically their Tiger Lily Queen, which I think is a pretty universal peach color that looks absolutely hideous when you open it like this. It's so peachy and so pink, but when you put it on, it looks nice. My secret is I do not apply it straight to my face. I put some on my hand, and on the other side of this is a little brush. So I'll just take it up, and then, you really don't want to wear a lot of blush if you're going for a minimal makeup look, but you do want to have a tint. The whole look needs to look just tinted. Another secret with these cream blushes is they have a tendency to move around. If I started really going in and trying to blend it in with my hands like this, it would move everything. So I just tap around, especially the edges that you're trying to blur. You can pick up that damp beauty blender again and just tap around. So you notice a lot of this technique is taking things off really rather than just keep layering them on, especially when it comes to a little extra foundation, extra blush, and you just want to push it in. I like to use this tissue to do exactly that. Push everything in. Make sure your lips are nice and hydrated too. This is the time to be using your chapstick or whatever it is you use. I think it looks nice when your lips are glossy and you're doing a natural look. If you're enjoying this so far, consider dropping me a like and even subscribing. I would love to see you around on my other videos. Right, so let's stand up and get closer to the window to get a bit of a better look. There it is. I think it looks nice. I think it looks light. I don't think I look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. I feel very fresh, and that only took me a few minutes and a few products, some of which were affordable, some of which were a little bit more splurgy, but you can find dupes for those as well. It is not so much about the products, it's really about applying it and not being afraid to really tone it down by taking it off. I think that is probably the best tip overall, and moisturizing the heck out of your face beforehand. So that's it. That's the look. Thanks for hanging out here with me. We'll see you in the next video.